So a few days ago, I posted a TikTok asking for you guys to ask me some questions because I was thinking of doing a Q&A for my YouTube because I'm bored. And I was not expecting so many people to actually ask me questions. Like, I got over 100 comments or something. Now, obviously, I won't be able to answer every single question. I'm going to try and do as much as I can. If I don't answer your question, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'll try and answer it in the next Q&A. And if you have, like, questions for me that I haven't answered here, comment them below. Okay, so we're going to start. So the first one is favourite cinema snack other than popcorn. I can't lie, the Odeon pizzas taste really nice. They taste really nice. If I don't get popcorn, I usually just get like Cadbury's chocolate or something like that. But Odeon pizzas are very nice. My most expensive Funko that I have is this Jake Sully one from Avatar. This one cost me like £50 and that was second-handed. I'm really annoyed though because when I went to Florida last year, they literally had this in a shop for like $10. Never been more furious in my life. Like, I spent £50 on this bad boy, but honestly, I think it's worth it. How good will Finding Home be, and will it be a kawinky dink if it makes it? But of course it will be a kawinky dink. Now, I feel like loads of people aren't going to understand this question. It's like a hidden inside joke. If you have been on my TikTok live streams for the last few times, this will probably make sense-ish. Disney movie you'd love to have a sequel or a prequel. Now, I want to say Bolt because it's one of my favourite films ever. But as much as I love Bolt, I don't see them doing anything else with like the story and stuff because it's pretty much over. I know this is technically Pixar, but it is still Disney if you think about it. I want them to make that Monsters Inc. sequel, the Lost in Scaradise one. I really want them to make it. I don't want any of this Monsters at Work stuff. No, I want the actual sequel that we were promised. Favourite outfit or any piece of clothing. So at the moment, my favourite piece of clothing is this denim skirt that I got from Bershka yesterday. I've not made an outfit with it yet, but honestly, my go-to outfits are like a skirt, tights or no tights, depending on what the weather is, and then just like a top, any top. Like either like a tank top or like a graphic t-shirt. That's literally all I wear. My favourite Funko is probably the Jinx one from Arcane League of Legends. I'm going to say this now. It might not be the same by the time the video's uploaded. She is available on Amazon again, so she's been sold out for ages. So if you do want to get Jinx, you can get her on Amazon right now. If I could only watch one film director's filmography for the rest of my life, what would it be? This may sound like a bit random, but Wes Anderson. Because his films literally suit every single mood. Like, they're so comforting, they're very satisfying to watch. They're kind of like surrealistic as well, which I really like. I'd say Wes Anderson, yeah. Like, if I'm upset, if I'm happy, there's a film in his filmography for me, and it's very satisfying to watch. And he's made so many of my comfort films, like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm obsessed with it at the moment. My favourite film, I get asked this loads. My number one favourite film is Wolf Walkers. I love it so much. I am happy more people are discovering what Wolf Walkers is. Like, there's actually people I can talk to about the film now. It used to just be me. If you haven't watched Wolf Walkers, I really do recommend it. It is an amazing film. What was General Grant doing on the thermostat? He was in a silly, goofy mood, guys. He was just in a silly, goofy mood. Favourite film type other than superheroes. So superheroes are my number one favourite kinds of films. Second favourite is definitely surrealism, like surrealistic films. So for example, Kinds of Kindness, Poor Things, they're like more newly released surrealistic films. I absolutely love surrealism. It was my favourite thing to study at film studies. I love it. I love it so much. I wish we had more surrealistic films. How many Funko Pops do I have? Another question that I get asked lots. I've literally just counted around my room, not including the Funkos that I have like in their boxes to sell them and stuff. I have 71 Funkos in my collection. Honestly, I thought it was less than that. But yeah. Being held at gunpoint and having to wipe off one franchise off the face of the earth. The first thing that comes to mind are the After films. I don't know why there's like 4 or 5 of them. You know what? The second one is decent. I've only seen the first 2, but the others, like, I've seen clips from the films, and I think that's all I need to see. I don't understand the hype around these films. If you like them, you know, good for you. Like, It's fine. They're just not my thing at all. Do you hope to make your screenplay a big film one day? Yeah, so if you don't know, I am writing a screenplay in my spare time. At the moment, there's 6 films in total. I've not written the whole screenplay for all 6 films, but that's how much there will be in my superhero series that I'm writing. Of course, I would love them to be big films one day. Probably not gonna happen, but a girl can dream. My favourite superhero. I don't know, man. Best advice I can give to someone starting social media, scared about what others will think. Now, I used to be worried about what other people would think, but then at the end of the day, like, obviously this is a lot easier said than done, but I'm in the sort of state of mind now where it's like, as long as I'm happy, as long as what I'm doing is putting a smile on my face, it doesn't matter what other people think. It really doesn't. Like, think of it this way. If you're filming in public, someone will look at you and be like, oh, that person's filming. And then that's it. They will never think of you ever again. It's not that deep. Like, we only have such a small amount of time on this planet. I know this is really deep talk, but you can't waste your life constantly thinking about what other people will think about you. Like, I can't lie, I do still worry about what people think about me, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm happy doing what I do, it's not that deep. If I could give someone advice about like actually starting to post content on social media, be consistent. That is the main thing I can tell people. Like, post like 3 videos a day, at least 1 video a day, or 1 every 2 days. Like, you have to be consistent. You can't just post a video and then take like a 2-month break and then post another one. You can't do that. You have to be consistent. Dream country to visit, obviously it would be Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan, not just because of like anime and stuff like that, but just in general. It seems like such a beautiful, nice place. If I was ever going to go to Japan, I would want to go when the cherry blossoms are out. That is literally on my bucket list, like, to see all the cherry blossoms. What movie am I most excited to watch this year? So my top 3 most anticipated are Superman, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, and Avatar Fire and Ash. I love the Avatar films. I don't want to hear any hate about them. Favourite Invincible variant. Now, it used to be Sinister Mark, but then when I actually watched the Invincible War episode, obviously they have like different names. I don't think there's any like actual confirmed names, but I'm just gonna show a picture. I just love how like crazy he is, and I think the voice acting was actually really good for his character as well. How did I find out about Letterboxd and will I watch Possession? Now, Letterboxd, I've always known Letterboxd was a thing. I think it was in one of my film studies class. I was talking to the girl sat next to me and she used Letterboxd and I was like, it's actually worth getting. She was like, yeah. So I literally downloaded it in that class and ever since then I have been obsessed with it. Will I watch Possession? I am planning to at some point. At some point. I've got a lot on my watch list. I'm sorry. My favourite memory at the cinema, now this is going to sound so pathetic, but it was when Batman vs Superman came out. I had the day off school because I had to go to the hospital because of my reflux and stuff. It was like really bad, and it was basically me just doing all of these like tests where like I couldn't eat anything for the whole day and stuff like that, trying to figure out, you know, what was actually wrong with me. Like, I had reflux, but they wanted to know like more about it, and I was very upset. And then all of a sudden my dad like whispers in my ear like, should I take you to the cinema after this? Instead of going back to school, I was like, yeah. And I really wanted to watch Batman vs Superman. I don't know what it was. I just really wanted to watch the film. So we went to watch it. We were the only ones in the screen, and literally, I remember it so well in my head. Like, I was obsessed with that film so much. After I watched it at primary school, that is all I would talk about. I'm pretty sure people were getting fed up with me about it, but yeah, that's my favourite cinema memory. Best Sonic character, Knuckles. Knuckles, I love him. If you weren't making film-based content, what other content would you like? Now, I've always wanted to do like food content, like trying food places, trying new food, trying recipes, showing off what I eat in a day, and stuff like that. My watches, my Apple Watch was just having a seizure there. I would love to post stuff like that. I do sometimes post about food, but obviously not as much as I post about other stuff. I feel like if I did post about food and stuff though, it wouldn't do well on my account because my account is a Film Talk based account. But if you guys want me to do stuff like that, then like, let me know. My opinion on Dexter, I've never watched it. I do want to watch it though, but the thing is, I'm at the point where it's like, is there any point in me actually watching it? Because no one really talks about the show anymore. Like, the fandom's not huge. Like, is it actually good enough for me to watch? Because there's a lot of episodes as well. Like, I do want to watch it, but should I prioritize watching it over other things? Like, I'm not so sure. It looks like a good show. Like, doesn't seem to be any like bad things about it from what I've heard. What horror movies do I plan to watch this year? All of them. Well, all the ones that I can see. I will watch all of the ones that are showing at my local cinema. If they're not showing at my local cinema, it honestly depends if I think they're going to be good or just a waste of time. It honestly depends. Favourite pot noodle flavour? I don't eat pot noodles. I've never had pot noodles before. I have like super noodles and like kimchi noodles and stuff like that instead. But my favourite like noodles ever, kimchi noodles. I'm obsessed with them. How was Heat? Heat was very good. I can understand what people mean about like the really cool gun scene. Thing is, that scene was so loud in the cinema and then the rest of the film was so quiet. Like more quiet than the screen usually is. I don't know if they turned it down just because of that scene. But it was really good, yeah. I love those kinds of films. Elmo versus Batman, who's winning? I think you know the answer to this. I think we all know the answer to this question. It's pretty obvious. Any favourite music artists? So the music artists that I listen to the most, I listen to Nirvana, Foo Fighters, The Neighbourhood, Arctic Monkeys, Gorillaz, mostly stuff like that. Obviously I listen to like other artists as well. I used to be obsessed with Mitski, but then her songs were low-key making me too depressed. I had to stop listening to her for a bit. I do still love her though. But yeah, I know some people are going to be like, oh, TikTok songs, TikTok music taste. Guys, TikTok is a music app. Shocking as that seems, of course there's going to be like people discovering new music on that app. Do you know what I mean? Some other music that I listen to though, I listen to like Skillet and ICP. I love that kind of music, like rock and like, I don't know what you would call ICP, but I love their songs as well. Like, I used to listen to them before TikTok was even a thing, and no one else I knew listened to their music, so I was like, I just won't tell anyone I listen to them. But now, like, loads of people do genuinely listen to them, so it makes me happy. But yeah, that's the kind of music I like listening to. Fredo or Bean? I can't lie, Fredo has been with me through more in my life, so I think I'm gonna have to say Fredo, but only by a tiny bit. First movie I watched, and when I watched it, I don't know the exact number one film that I first watched. My first memory of watching a film though was Avatar. It was on my dad's iPad and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I'm like, can I watch it? And my dad's like, yeah. And then I fell in love with it. I know the first film I saw at the cinema was Bolt. Don't remember watching it, but apparently it was a cinema in Kingston. I don't know if it was Odeon, but it was a cinema in Kingston that apparently I watched Bolt, and that was my first cinema trip. Favourite non-English speaking film? Probably A Silent Voice or Weathering With You. One of those two. Do you game at all? I do have a PlayStation 5. It's like the family PlayStation. I do game, not as much though. I think the last time I even touched the PlayStation was like 2 months ago. I've just not had the time, unfortunately. But I definitely want to get back into gaming. Thing is, there's not really any games that I kind of want to play at the moment. I do actually need to get into Rivals because I have it downloaded, but I've never actually played it before. So I do want to start gaming again. Favourite ride? Definitely the 3D Transformers ride at Orlando Universal. I really hope we can go there again this year. If not, I will literally use my own money to go there myself and go on it. I will happily do so. Do I own any Silver the Hedgehog merch? I've got a silver Funko. I'm excited for when we get more silver merch because I'm not trying to be funny. In at least the next 2 Sonic films that come out, we gotta at least have one mention of silver. If not, they are definitely wasting time. But I think silver will either be mentioned in the next film or like in the post-credit scene, or that will be the case in the 5th film. But if they don't release silver in the films like after that, then that's going to be a bit concerning because he is a fan favourite character. What would I do if I won the lottery for £5 million? I can't lie, I would use that to put towards my budget for making my own superhero film. That is literally what I would do. I was gonna say like move out of the UK, but as much as I say I want to move out of the UK, I don't think I actually have the strength to do so. Favourite character in Invincible, so Eve is my #1 favourite, and then Alan is a very close second. Do I watch anime? And if I do, what's my favourite and least favourite? So I do watch anime. My favourite is Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. My least favourite, I don't know. Probably stuff that I've dropped, like 7 Deadly Sins. I dropped out after 3 episodes because I just could not get into it. I'm sure it's fine, but I don't like Meliodas. I did not like his character at all. He really annoyed me. How tall are you? I'm 5'3", and I've been 5'3" for like the last 10 years of my life. How many films are logged in my letterboxd? So at the moment there's 728. Obviously I've watched more than that many films in my life, but I can't remember every single film that I've ever watched. So I do go through lists occasionally and add films that I have watched before, but at the moment, yeah. Who would win in a fight, Alvin the Chipmunk or Superman? Neither. Ian Hawke wins. How much does my entire collection cost? Now, unfortunately, I won't be answering it in this video because I don't know. But I want to do a whole separate video on this just to see how much my collection actually is worth. A Pokemon Funko they haven't made yet, but I'm waiting for. Mudkip. Mudkip. Please. Please, I really want a Mudkip. Does pineapple belong on pizza? No. Don't ever ask that again. What do you want to do when you grow up? So my all-time dream is to be a film director. I would like to be a voice actor as well, but as you can tell, my voice is not the best. I can't do voice acting to save my life. I would love to do it though. I would also like to animate, like be an animator, or basically anything to do with the film industry, literally anything. What animal would I own if there were no laws? Obviously a frog. I feel like I'd have to get a frog and name it Freddo. I would also like, I was talking about this on my live stream the other day, I would love to have a pet snake and a pet turtle as well. Like, I love reptiles. I would love a pet reptile. A hobby that you don't talk about on social media. See, I'd say digital art. I've probably made like 1 or 2 videos about it, but I don't really talk about it loads. I talk about my screenplay, but I don't really talk about like actual digital art, like character designs and animation that I do. I do want to start getting back into it again, but like I said, I don't even have time to go on the PlayStation, so I definitely don't have time to do character designs, but I do want to get back into it. But yeah, I feel like this video is ridiculously long, so I'm going to leave it there. Once again, I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. If I didn't answer your question, comment it here and I will try and answer it in the next video. Thanks guys for watching. I don't know if this was actually even enjoyable or what, but I need to drink like 5 cups of water right now because I've been talking for way too much. So yeah.